Planet Vero Studio is powered by the Nolan Group of RE/MAX Associated Realty. MyNextHomeFinder.com.
Welcome to Treasure Coast Community Health. We have 8 locations to serve you better. Our staff is dedicated to help you and your family. Here's your host, Vicki Soulé.
And hello there. Welcome to Community Conversations. I am the CEO of a wonderful organization that provides primary medical, dental, behavioral health for people. Sometimes we have people on that are also in healthcare for animals. Today, though, we have someone who's into our planet health, and that would be Dr. Richard Baker. Many of you know him. He's been an icon here with the Pelican Audubon Society for many years, and it has been supported at least on a couple of occasions by Impact 100 ladies. Yeah. So we know that he continues to work hard for all of us, and so we've invited him today to talk about what the Pelican Audubon Society is about and what they are currently doing and encouraging us to do. So stay tuned. Dr. Baker.
Thank you, Vicki, for inviting me. I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Now, you've been with the Pelican Audubon Society. Did you create it?
No. But I've been there a long time.
Okay.
It started in 1965.
Okay, way before my time here.
Yeah, it was started by people who got together in the 60s to save Pelican Island, the land around Pelican Island. Okay. It was supposed some developers from, I think, New Jersey and Miami were coming up to build around the Pelican Island. And actually, Pelican Island started in 1903 under President Roosevelt. Mm-hmm. And a lot of Audubon people were involved with that, too. But in the 60s, a group of people living in Vero Beach thought that we need to protect that America's first national wildlife refuge, mm-hmm. Pelican Island. And so they formed a group to buy the land around the island itself to protect it. And they were able, by 1965, to get the state of Florida to buy the land. And it was protected then from there on. And they then decided to form the Pelican Island Audubon Society. So that's how our organization started. Maggie Bowman was one of the early people and was president and did a lot of good work for us. She was also involved with the Audubon. Most people don't know it, but Audubon started the ELC, the Environmental Learning Center. No, it was Maggie Bowman that did that. We held the lease on the land for some years.
Uh-huh. Well, I was fortunate enough to take a pontoon boat ride by the ELC and go up and take a tour around, not on, obviously, but around the island. And, you know, I will never forget seeing those empty apartments way up in Brevard County that they attempted to make so that people could view across, but it apparently didn't work, which is probably a good thing, all things considered.
That's an important island, America's first wildlife refuge. And
I will never forget the pink feathers.
Yes, for the plumes.
That's right. Save those plumes.
The roseate spoonbills.
Yeah.
And they're coming back now. There's a lot of problems in the Everglades with the water levels. And
the boa constrictors?
Yes. Well, yeah, I'm not sure how. They probably are affecting the birds, too, but they're certainly affecting a lot of the animals. That's terrible how
it is.
Got released and they're reproducing down there. It's bad. Yeah, the Everglades is in bad shape, actually.
So your actual degrees are not in birds, is that correct?
No, mostly in mosquitoes.
Okay.
Which birds
Bird
eat.
food. Okay, well that's really important too.
I got my degree at the University of Illinois in genetics and zoology, and then I got my first job worrying about mosquitoes, and I worked 13 years in Pakistan. Mm-hmm. I was director of the Pakistan Medical Research Center, which was sponsored by NIH. And then came back to, and the University of Maryland Medical School. I was there at the medical school at University of Maryland. Then the job opened up down here in Vero Beach at the Florida Medical Entomology Lab.
Okay.
I was director of that for, I think, 16 years.
So clearly your passion is in preserving our local environment at this point.
Oh, yes.
Whether
yeah.
it was mosquitoes then or birds now. Or
And trees have always been
Trees.
my favorite subject. I just love trees. I even love snags, and I think they're just artistic, very nice. And they do so many for birds. They produce the most insects.
Well, I don't know about insects except to slap at them, but I know that you have excited me in terms of what we can do to replace trees here in our community, with so many of the orchards dying off because of one thing and another. You have really excited me about what a difference we can make in that environment.
We've cut
thank
down
you.
so many trees all over the world, and we're in real trouble. Trees produce, besides food, trees contribute a lot of the oxygen. The native plants produce a lot of oxygen, which we need to breathe. A lot of it comes from the ocean, the plants in the ocean, but the land plants also produce the oxygen that we need to breathe, and most people don't realize that. We know we need oxygen.
Right.
In fact, that we need that more than water. We can get along without water a few days, without food, but we don't last very long without oxygen. So.
And you know, when I say that to people, they look at me like, what a silly girl. You know, there's plenty of oxygen. And it's like, yeah, until we don't have enough.
We're getting too much CO2.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
So your organization actually gives away trees.
Yes, we have started a nursery. We don't have a large any native plant nurseries in our county. So, and we're trying to promote trees and native plants in our community. We started the plant a little over 2 years ago, and we have distributed over 8,600
That's wonderful.
plants and trees to some we've given away to governments, and some are selling for generally just like $5 for a 1 gallon pot. So they can come down to our nursery at our Audubon house, which we started 6 years ago. We built the Audubon house off of Oslo Road there, right surrounded by 440 acres of the Oslo Riverfront Conservation Area. So it's a beautiful place.
It is.
We have after-school program going there. We have 4 Title I elementary schools coming one day. 5th graders, they come 1 day a week for 14 weeks in a semester.
Wow.
They go kayaking, walking in the village, walking in the woods in different habitats, walk in the mangroves, learn about snakes, learn about mosquitoes, and in our environment, they learn to take photographs. We give them good Canon cameras, and then we teach them to draw and to write what they see. We tell them we want you to be a scientist when you grow up. And they get really excited about that. Yes, I'd love to be a scientist.
Yes.
These are 5th graders, and it's really nice working with them.
That is wonderful. So if it's a 14-week, then you're actually impacting kids from each school twice. You have a fall and a spring.
Yeah, we have a fall and a spring semester. So we have 13 kids come from each school. That's what we can get
wonderful.
into our van. Plus the teacher comes with them from the school. And then we have an environmental educator,
Very
Megan
nice.
Carpenter, who works with us now at the kids. So we pick them up at the school and bring them to our Audubon house and then take them back to the school at about 6:15. And that their working mom or dad can then pick them up. These kids would not have an after-school opportunity. They would just get on the bus and be taken home normally.
Particularly an opportunity like this to really learn about the county that they live in and how they can impact it in a positive way. My Rotary Club, the Oceanside Rotary Group, works with ORCA as citizen scientists.
Right.
And the excitement, newcomers are like, I want to do that.
They do ORCA does a great job.
They do.
Yeah.
They absolutely do.
Edie Witter.
So, that brings us to the lagoon health, coming back to the water. And we've all heard that the manatees are struggling with the lack of, as you call it, the underwater greenery. So can you give us an update on that from your perspective?
Yes. We have a sort of an insanity for the infatuation with our turf grass lawns. We have a choice. We have either seagrass or turf grass. And we pay people don't realize how much money we pay for having turf grass in our community. And first of all, we pay money to take down the native trees and plants, and then we put in this non-native, expensive turf grass. And then we waste some of our precious drinking water on watering this plant. 64% of our drinking water goes on lawns.
Really?
And we're running out of drinking water. And that jumps up to 88% in the summertime.
Unless they have a deep well. Because we do have a fairly shallow water table,
do the
right?
wells, but we're discouraging that. You're still taking the water out that we're going to be using for producing drinking water. So it's the most irrigated crop in the United States, and we plant 3 times more than corn, and we can't even eat it.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's kind of useless to have
really
this
is.
around.
It's not like our cows are eating
And
the
then
turf
we pay
grass.
$45 billion to lawn care people to apply 100 million pounds of pernicious chemicals and fertilizers that make their way to our canals, rivers, and lagoon, killing our seagrasses and our wildlife. And then we pay money for 800 million gallons of gas for lawn care equipment like mowers and blowers that spreads 41 billion pounds of CO2 and 13 billions of toxic carcinogenic air pollutant gases.
Wow.
And it's pretty amazing. And it contributes to our warming and our human health, which we're here for, and breathing these pollutants and eating contaminated foods and plants. Then we pay taxes for our cities, counties, and state and federal governments to apply more chemicals to get rid of the plants that are on canals, otherwise, and around. And we used to cut them down, but now we're spraying more chemicals to get rid of those plants that are in the canals. And all this is running into the lagoon. And then the last thing we're probably going to have to pay is to replant some of these seagrasses. Or we're going to have to go through an effort to get the seagrasses to start back up, because we're losing our manatees, which use that seagrasses to eat, and our fish need them. So we are in a real tragic situation.
So if you like numbers, if money talks to you, listen again, rewind your tape, go to our Facebook page and listen again. It's a very, very expensive proposition in health as well as financial dollars. And what a waste. So you can walk out and see smooth grass instead of bumpy plants.
Well, and the native plants are good for butterflies. They're good for birds. We'll bring back some of our nature.
So what kinds of, we're going to have to stop for a short break. So I want you to think about what kinds of native plants do well, both in the sun or in the shade, should we decide to rip out our lawn. Okay? And we'll be back after a word from our sponsors. Hi, I'm Vicki Soule, Treasure Coast Community Health CEO. 5,000 adorable rubber duckies will race for the finish in the Great Duck Derby, held on October 24th at Captain Hiram's. The winning duck will take home a $1,000 grand prize. All ducks help us provide health care for all. Duck adoptions start at only $5. Pay it forward and adopt more ducks for your family and friends at thegreatduckderby.com. TCCH is a nonprofit.
This is iHeartMedia's Treasure Coast Connection.
The Treasure Coast Connection is brought to you by New Vision Eye Center.
If you have received a cancer diagnosis and don't know where to turn, then Friends After Diagnosis is the organization for you. Hi, my name is Carolyn Nelson, and I am the Executive Director at Friends After Diagnosis. We are a local cancer support organization that has served this community for 10 years. Our support groups, wellness programming, and personal services are available at no cost to women with cancer, others with breast cancer, and their loved ones. To donate or for more information, visit our website at friendsafterdiagnosis.com or call 772-770-9700. Remember, you always have friends at Friends After Diagnosis.
Call New Vision Eye Center for a consultation or second opinion. Your eyesight deserves world-class eye care. Visit newvisioneyecenter.com or call 772-257-8700.
If you operate a small business, you need services like payroll, tax compliance, HR tools, and other resources. You need Complete Employee Solutions. Vero Beach has a team of professionals, including Anthony Sammons, Matt McCain, and Jennifer Comer, who saw the need for competent payroll, HR, and employee leasing services. Call Complete Employee Solutions at 772-978-7277 or visit their website at CompleteEmployeeSolutions.com.
And welcome back to Community Conversations. If you're just joining us, my name is Vicki Soule. I'm the CEO of Treasure Coast Community Health, where we provide medical, dental, behavioral health care, discounted pharmaceuticals, and we are now expanding into more of a vision services line to help those young children who really can't see as well as they should. But mom and dad are pretty busy working and trying to take care of food over functional things because it's really important for little ones to grow with good nutrition. So we are here today, though, talking about our environmental health, and couldn't think of anyone better, more respected in his field than Dr. Richard Baker from the Pelican Audubon Society. So during the break, we were talking about natural plants, and you mentioned that they're called native plants because they are used to the wet and dry cycles that happen year-round in Florida.
Yeah, they don't need the amount sometimes we get some serious droughts, and then you need to probably water them. It would be helpful. But they're used to surviving. When you first plant them, putting them in the ground, you have to water them probably take care of them up to 4 months maybe.
Okay.
At least for the first week or two, you should water them every day. And then after that, maybe every other day for a month or two. And then once a week. And after that, they're probably good for the rest of the
Because by that time, their root structure has grown out and deepened.
Turf grass only goes down about 2 to 3 inches.
If that, sometimes.
Native plants go down 12 inches. So there's a lot of water that's accumulated down below the line. That's why you have to water grass a lot, because the surface dries out really rapidly here
with the
in
heat
Florida
and
with all the heat
evaporation.
and everything.
Yeah.
So you have to water that turf grass quite a bit. Yeah.
But as you said earlier in the program, except for the way it looks, it really does not give us any benefit. You can't eat it. You can't cut it and sell it. You can't make hats out of it like we do the palm leaves. You know, it really has nothing except that aesthetic. See how wonderful I maintain my home.
Native plants can be really beautiful. We have selected about 13 different trees that we'd like to put back in people's yards.
Okay.
And the live oak, the southern live oak, we're giving away free to people, that anybody that wants it can come down and get it. And that's the best tree for caterpillars, for birds. It's over 400 species of birds are found in insects are found in our trees in our county.
Wow.
The world, in the United States, over 500 different insects are found. But we have mahogany, which is, you don't see very many mahoganies anymore. We cut all the mahogany trees down to make wood and furniture. Furniture out of the wood, and but we have some free mahoganies.
That's wonderful.
We're soon we've had some other species, but we got a lot of other species, shrubs. We have about 40 other different native plants, and
really?
We selected them because they're the best plants for butterflies and for birds. And so if you like to see butterflies and you like to see birds in your yard, we live on the second floor, and I've got some in pots even. And they're bringing the red flowers and the white flowers are bringing in we're bringing in hummingbirds are coming up on our fourth floor. So it's attracting all kinds of birds just coming into a little porch-like area we have on the second floor. So we're encouraging people that live in condominiums, if they want to put some nice native plants in pots.
What a great idea.
You might see more birds coming in and butterflies. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I live under oaks, and that's my favorite, is to see the butterflies around. And-
And the insects that are in trees you don't see,
no, you don't.
and they don't
No.
bother you. They're there, but the birds really love them, and that's why you see birds. In the,
we have woodpeckers that come in and it's like lunchtime. So that's great. So if people were interested in receiving or paying for a very low price for any of those things, what's your address again?
Well, you can get. We're at 195 9th Street, which is Oslo Road, southeast.
Okay.
So we're on the east side of Oslo Road, down near the Publix shopping center there. You can get on our website too, and you can find that Pelican Island Audubon Society. You can Google that and it'll come up. And we have all the plants that we have are listed on our website.
Wonderful.
And you can select the ones you want. You can make an appointment to come in and pick them up.
Okay.
So so it's pretty safe as far as COVID is concerned. We have people there; they're wearing masks to take care of you, and it's a nominal fee for. We're not making any money off of these plants. We're getting some of them wholesale. We're growing some ourselves.
At one time, when you started the 100,000 tree campaign, I think that was its word. You were looking for volunteers to help with seedlings. Is that still the case?
Yes, we still in watering and things like that. We run the whole program as volunteers.
Okay.
And we'd love to have a few more.
Okay.
As we expand, and you learn about the plants and trees while you're doing it. You can come just to help water. That is, we have to. The plants are in pots. That's the reason we have to water them.
Right.
And so to do that, and also we do some nursery activities. It's all based on donations too. We appreciate if you want to donate to the project. We'd love to have you. Do
Absolutely.
that. And volunteers.
And you have a wonderful selection of different native plants. So that too is something that if you're just at the point where you're saying, okay, I'm convinced I don't want to keep up this straggly grass with fertilizer and cutting and all the other things that Dr. Baker talked about earlier, by all means, have an appointment and talk with them about how that transition could go smoothly. The other group that in town I know that was working on that was a group of members out of the Sunrise Rotary Club as well. So if you go on to Sunrise Rotary, I know they were doing a lot of work to help people transition, because it after you've put the grass and the effort into the grass, it takes a big gulp to say, okay, I'm going to pull out the rest of it, and then what?
Yeah,
okay.
well, Robin Polinsky was president during that period of time, and she's a great native landscaper, and she's a landscape architect, and so that would be a good source too. Yeah. Yes,
because it is, if you're sitting like I am with house after house after house of people that really take great care of their lawn, their words, I take great care. And it does look nice. It's really gutsy to eliminate your own lawn. That transition period is awkward.
We're trying to get new rules and regulations too, and the new developments that are coming in to reduce. We feel you could reduce your lawn down to 10 to 15%, and it'll save a lot of effort too. You spend less time working with natives than you do mowing your lawn and things like that if you do it yourself.
And you're going to be proving that over at the County Commission building soon.
Yes, the County Commission gave us permission to put an education demonstration native garden right in front of the building A. Okay. Admin A, they call it generally. And we've got what we think is a beautiful garden being done.
Well, we can't wait to see it. Unfortunately, we've run out of time. So that will lead into check out your neighborhood. Check out what you can do to make a difference in the world we live in. And thank you so much for listening in. We'll talk again next week. Have a great night.